First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekakadash, and the bonds to those great millstone, while learned his truth. And also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom. And come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So the type of the lesson is Cbdc will introduce the Motb. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a news article here by Daily Hard. And it reads, it said, United Nations proposes digital ID system tied to bank accounts and mobile payment platforms. The United Nations is proposing a universal digital ID system that would directly connect to people's bank accounts and payment apps. A comprehensive new policy agenda from the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres details an identification network designed to digitize and streamline the process of verifying people identities on a global scale. Let's scroll down a little bit. He said the proposal follows a move by the World Economic Forum to explore a system that would track and verify human identity using biometrics. The forum has teamed up with the Swedish biometric company Fingerprint Cards and is exploring blockchain-based digital ID platforms that put privacy at the top of all major priorities. So we already know that all roads lead to that grain of rice, to what the Motb. It shall go into your right hand or into your forehead. You will not be able to buy or sell. And it's, what I'm saying, one thing about it, already the WDF, the WEF, World Economic Forum has already said that, in order to be a part of this new society, this beast banking system, you will have to take it under the skin. So you already know that a lot of people will line up like clockwork. So, a lot of people will trust in the strength of Egypt. And one thing about it is that we already know that, hey, we coming upon these times. It's fast approaching. So it's going to work hand in hand with what biometrics. It's going to work hand in hand with what face recognition. Also what iris scan, it's going to work all together. You know what I'm saying? Also what palm recognition, so just wave your hand. So a lot of these things are already in place. We're seeing that also what universal basic income, what I'm saying? So we know that this Cbdc is going to work hand in hand with that grain of rice, the Motb, which in fact is the mark of beast, that sea hip, it's coming fast approaching. So we already know they get ready to bring this order out of chaos. You know what I'm saying? It was these black swan events, these what you call these pandemics, also these supply chain disruption, all these different things are coming into play. All road leads to what? To that grain of rice. Once again, Revelation chapter 13 is speaking right now. Also, climate change is going, what I'm saying? He trying to bring it forth any kind of way that they can bring it, biological warfare, with these different weapons and different things that they coming down the pipeline. They're already saying that, that it could be another some type of event that's coming up, you know what I'm saying? So we already know that, a lot of people going to have these UN digital IDs, you know what I'm saying, to what? To track and tag, everyone on the planet. These digital, the Cbdc tokenized implants. You know what I'm saying? Government control. They want total control. We know that we're coming at the end of the dollar, that great economic collapse. So we already know the BRIC nation is getting ready to come with their currency, but it's going to be backed by gold. So we already know that, this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath because what? He knowing that his time is very short. So we knowing that, we coming into, we are in the first part of 2024, and always all sorts of events are happening right behind another. I think this is day 18, I believe 19, one of the two. But anyway, we seeing that these things are happening. So I put out a lesson similar to this back in, I think, around March or April. So this article came out around, I think, June or somewhere like that. But when I first heard of it was March of 2023. But it's always good to go back over things once again, because you have been well warned. We're being a watchman for Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. This order out of chaos, this beast banking system, it's getting ready to come online. And also it's going to work hand in hand with these 15-minute cities, these smart cities. So when you look up the acronym SMART, it means surveillance, monitoring, analysis, reporting, and technology. And out of that technology, going to go into what AI, transhumanism, you know what I'm saying, biometrics, you know what I'm saying, all these things to get ready to come into play. It's going to work with that 5G and 6G blockchain system. So all these things to get ready to come into play. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna work hand in hand with that universal barcode. Also these UPC codes. All these things will work with your buying and selling, your transaction. So hey man, it's gonna deal with your banking system. Well, one thing about we knowing that the dollar is getting ready to be obsolete. The end of the dollar is the end of America. We coming upon this time. You know, it's fast approaching the hour of temptation. And one thing about it is that hey man, these lying wonders are right in our face. You know what I'm saying? We seeing these things are constantly picking up left and right. Hey man, it is here. It is at the door. You know, so we knowing that the sown place is getting ready to become unsown. But a lot of our people are going to trust in the strength of Egypt, and they will be totally destroyed. So the title of the day lesson, once again, is CBDC will introduce the Motb. So I have a quick precept before we start today's video, and then after the precept we will start the video, and I hope you get edified. Let's start here. Second Kings, the book of Second Kings, chapter 18 and verse 21 said, now behold, thou trusted upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, it would go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, unto all that trust in him. So one thing about it, you know, when you go into that staff of a bruised reed, is going into a broken system. It's going into this beast banking system. This NWO. They want total control, track and tag everyone on the planet. You know what I'm saying? You will not be able to buy or sell unless you take it under your skin, subdermal. You know what I'm saying? It's coming left and right. It will be digital program, but also implantable under the skin. And also it said also even upon Egypt, you know, so the modern day Egypt is America, Babylon the Great. And Egypt it also mean the house of bondage. And it said on which if a man lean or trust or depend, you know, it shall go into his right hand or into his forehead and pierce it. That's talking about the charagma. Amen. Left and right it said pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And who is the modern day Pharaoh? That is the Esau, Edom, the modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people going to trust in this new system that's coming into play. You know, it's going to be very convenient. You know what I'm saying? You know, hey, we here to help you. You know what I'm saying? It's very convenient. It's very harmless. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it would give you a sense of normalcy. The Lord said, never trust thy enemy. But the two they're going to line up like clockwork, and they will be totally destroyed. So let's read this once again. 2 Kings chapter 18 and verse 21. He said, now behold, thou trusted upon the staff of this bruised reed, which in fact this new beast banking system, or the new world order, this 5G or 6G blockchain system, even upon Egypt, which in fact the modern day Egypt is America, Babylon the Great, on which if a man lean or if a man depend or trust, you know what I'm saying, totally trust, he said it will go into his hand and pierce it, the charagma, you know what I'm saying, your right hand or into your forehead, that neural link, lying wonder. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, said unto all that trust in him, that you trust in the Esau, Edom, the so-called white. He's the modern day Pharaoh. You know, and one thing about it is that, hey man, we're here. The Bible is spot on. You know what I'm saying? Everything is speaking right now. You know, we running on full, you know, everything is running. You know what I'm saying? It's wide open right now. And one thing about it, you know, it's time to seek the Lord while he can be found. So the title of today's lesson, once again, is Cbdc will introduce the Motb, or the mark of the beast. So we will start today's videos, and after the video, we will start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Nations is proposing a universal digital identification system that would be directly connected to people's bank accounts and payment apps. So if everybody had a UN ID, this would connect the whole world under an identification system, because the UN is all countries. So you wouldn't only have a United States ID. You would also have a UN ID. The UN had this agenda briefing. It's called the Global Digital Compact, an open, free, and secure digital future for all. Now, why would they want to connect to the banking? If there's some way that the whole world is going to communicate under one currency, then they're going to have to be identified under one unit of identification. And so that's why I thought it was interesting that it wasn't just ID, but if this UN ID, the goal is to be connected to my banking system. I still think this is so strange because this is directly correlated with the whole idea that the IMF wants to create a global banking system. What's interesting is that when you look at what the World Economic Forum propagates, they want to propagate human identification with a biometric system. And they have this program called the New Champions, where they allow new companies to come in to help them with their agenda. Fingerprint cards joined the World Economic Forum's New Champion initiative, and their whole objective is to create biometrical identifications and put it on debit cards, smart cards, and identification cards.
The United Nations has come out with its own suggestion to give enormous power to the UN Secretary General in the event of some other emergency, global emergency. So in March, the UN issued this brochure, which said we need what they called an emergency platform. They didn't define it very well. But this emergency platform would then enable the leaders of the UN to start directing the whole world what to do in the event of what they called a global shock. So what are the global shocks? Well, two of them are pandemics and biological warfare, which is exactly what these two WHO documents are supposed to be responding to. So you can see right there, the UN is saying, gee whiz, what happens if the WHO thing doesn't go forward? But then they've come up with all sorts of other sort of crazy potential global catastrophes: climate change, supply chain disruptions, cyberspace disruption, an event in outer space. Obviously, if it's in outer space, it's not on the planet. So why do we have to worry about it? And then unforeseen black swan event, which means they want the right to declare one of these emergencies for any unspecified event. And this is a problem because not only do we have to be concerned about the WHO, but now we have to be concerned about the UN itself.
Universal basic income, basically. 2,000 euros, $2,000 a month, if you allow us to put a microchip in your hand. That's exactly what's about to happen as part of the rollout of the central bank digital currencies. It's a carrot for them to rope you into this mess. According to them, the Bank for International Settlements, the new reserve currency, forget the dollar as you know it, basically. This will be the new reserve currency, which is how they want to label it. This would be used to settle all transactions. As everyone moves away from the US dollar right now, this seems like perfect timing. Every real-world item would receive its own unique digital token. No black market of selling cars, they all have to be tokenized. They all have to have a digital tracking ID to know exactly who owns them through this, what they call this transparent process.
So it's like a blockchain for the world.
Right. I mean, it would be on the blockchain, right? Everyone would be given a tokenized digital ID. And all the idea that if you don't comply with this, then we're going to take your property and tokenize it ourselves. Imagine trying to go through the airport with that laptop that you didn't have tokenized, so there's no digital footprint of it. Oh, what is that? Why do you have that there? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have it registered with the government. Don't have a digital ID for that item? Don't worry, we'll take it off your hands. So your digital wallet, your car, your house, your laptop, your phone, all of it assigned a digital token. Inside those tokens would be a set of rules for how each item can and cannot be used so that each person can be controlled and conditioned directly by the central bank. You used your digital wallet to buy your allotment of beef or chicken this month, you're cut off. Your wallet is now limited until next month. And by the way, you think this is like a conspiracy theory? This was explained in great detail by Klaus Schwab himself in 2016.
Aujourd'hui, au bout de ça, on parle de puces qu'on pourra s'implanter. Ce sera quand ça?
Certainement dans les 10 années à venir. Et d'abord, on va les implanter dans nos vêtements, c'est-à-dire wearables, comme on le dit. Et après, on pourrait s'imaginer qu'on les implante dans nos cerveaux ou dans notre peau. Et à la fin, peut-être il y a une communication directe entre notre cerveau et le monde digital. Ce que nous voyons, c'est une sorte de fusion du monde physique, digital et biologique.
The Federal Reserve, literally on their website, loves and talks about the benefits of expiring currency. After this Bank of International Settlements rolled this out last week, here is their tokenization process in their own words.
Tokenization is more than just a digital representation of money and assets. Currently, money and other claims reside in separate databases that are connected through third-party messaging systems, meaning that transactions need to be reconciled separately before being settled with finality. Tokenization makes all this one seamless operation.
You wouldn't need to go do title searches and all of your antiquated things like that when selling your car. It's already on the blockchain. It's a digital certificate of authenticity. They'll sell it to us as a way to speed up the banking process. Right now, there are 10 steps in order to wire money to someone. It's easy. It's faster. But what if government controls the blockchain? And what if the main currency is a central bank digital currency run by the Fed? And you want to use Bitcoin? You want to use Dogecoin? You want to use cash? Sorry, that's outlawed now.
Here we go, guys. The Mark, the Beast, the 666, top experts around the world right now are sounding the alarm. And it says here, top economist warns that central banks are planning to introduce CbdC microchip implants. It makes a lot of sense. The Bible says that that you can no longer buy or sell. So that's the first thing that comes up. You can no longer buy or sell. So basically it starts with a bank, with a system, with currency. And that's what we are witnessing right now. A couple of days ago, I posted a video. It's trending now. It's posted at my main channel, Grand Stream News. More than 100 banks are closing down, starting July 24th and moving on. Because everything will be transferred to online. Everything's going to be online. No longer will you go to an ATM machine and start withdrawing money. All that will slowly disappear. So if everything's going to be online, then soon currency, paper, coins will be replaced. People's going to be like, well, that's good news, Louis. That's very good news. No, it's not. Because at least with money, you're guaranteed that you will get the stuff that you want to purchase. Let's say if everything is online and you want to buy GUN, or let's say you want to buy gold, access denied. You can no longer buy this item. We feel like it's not safe, and we're doing this to help you. Artificial intelligence will say that.
Boy, have you lost your mind?
WEF says CBDCs must be implanted under your skin if you want to participate in society. The WEF has declared that all citizens must be implanted with the CBDC microchip in the very near future in order to be able to fully participate in society and do basic things such as purchase food and water, buy and sell. According to Professor Richard Werner, in the very near future, citizens will need to use the latest technologies such as a CBDC chip implant in order to access their bank accounts. I don't know about you, but patent 060606 is starting to look more like the mark to me.
So we seeing that we're very close to this time. We knowing that CBDC, the universal basic income, also the Fed Now app is going to lead straight to the Motb, which in fact is the mark of the beast, the C hip is coming soon. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, a lot of people is getting ready to make a decision. It's getting ready to be a global event, the hour of temptation. Also, Jacob's trouble. It is at the door. So let's start today's lesson. Let's start straight to the point lesson. Revelations. I've been over these lessons several times, but it's always good to be repetitious because the Bible is repetitious. You know, and one thing about it, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear, we really don't give a damn because one thing about it, only election will attain this knowledge, will receive it. And one thing about it, we're going to present the evidence. And after that, it's up to the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Hey, man, because we're ready to get the hell out of here. Revelation chapter 13, and we'll start up at verse 15. And it reads, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and call that as many as would not worship the image of the beast would be killed. So one thing about it is that, he had power to give life to the image of the beast, the World Economic Forum, the WHO, and all that. What is the image of the beast? The beast banking system, the New World Order. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, what is the beast? The revised Roman Empire. So we seeing that, hey, there is no new thing under the sun. So one thing about it, we seeing that, hey, man, we seeing it happening right before our eyes. And as that about it says, they should both speak and call that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So one thing about it, so we know we coming upon that time. We know that these 15-minute cities, these FEMA camps, these quarantine camps are getting ready to come into play. Also these guillotines, you know what I'm saying? So all these things are coming upon us, persecution of the saint, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things are getting ready to come down the pipeline, you know, the body count is getting ready to be great. And one thing about it is that even in death, the Lord said, even in death, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the Lord said, be thy faithful until death. He will give you a crown of life. We trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So let's read this again. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15. And he had power to give life to the image of the beast. The WHO, the World Economic Forum, and it says that the image of the beast is with the beast banking system or the New World Order. They want total control, track and tie. That the image of the beast, the revised Roman Empire, should both speak and call that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So one thing about it, that, they want total control. And one thing about it, if you're not going to be a part of this system, you know what I'm saying? They feel like they will starve you to death. You know what I'm saying? You will not be able to eat. You will not be able to work. You will not pretty much do anything without being consenting, submitting to this system. And one thing about it, once you submit, you will be a part of this, second death, which in fact is the lake of fire. What is the lake of fire? America, Babylon the Great. And one thing about it, we constantly warn you left and right, all the games are about to be over. Verse 16, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And what is that mark? To charagma, the C here. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, all roads lead to the Motb, the mark of the beast. So one thing about it, in part of being a part of this new system, this 5G or 6G blockchain system, or this beast banking system that's getting ready to come upon us. We know we're coming upon a great economic collapse. So they'll put this into place in order to buy or sell, to have a sense of normalcy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people going to trust in the strength of Egypt. They're going to trust in this broken reed. And one thing about it, they're going to take it in their right hand or in their forehead so they can eat, so they can buy their medical supply, so they can feed their families, their loved one. The one that saves their life shall lose their life, because you did not trust in your true power, which in fact is Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Hey man, we're coming upon that time. That charagma is right around the corner. And what we're introducing, central bank digital currency is going to work hand in hand with the Fed Now out, but also universal basic income. It is free. We're here to help you. very convenient. You know what I'm saying? Hey, everything will go back to normal. You know, trust and believe in me. And one thing about it, a lot of people gonna do that. They're gonna what? Add sin to sin. Verse 18. And it reads, now let's see, verse 17, Salah. He said, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And we already know who invented the barcode. What his name was, George Joseph Lowell. He invented the barcode, that universal barcode. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it's gonna work hand in hand with these QPC code. You know what I'm saying? One thing about scanning, tracking. You know what I'm saying? So you will not be able to do anything without having that system in place. You know what I'm saying? That grain of rice. Say, hey, man, these things are lining up like clockwork. It say, here is wisdom. Let him that has understand, who has understand, the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 600, 3scores and 6. And out about it, that 666 going to what? Tri-style stigma. And one thing about it is that, hey, that's going into, back in the day when they used to brand and mark their soldier, the Roman soldiers, it goes to that tri-style stigma. Also another example of that, when they brand cattle and different things like that, because they look at you as a gurum or cattle, something that that really is useless. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it is that we seeing that they're trying to put all these things into play. They're trying to give you that badge of servitude. And I about count the number of a man, which if I jump the gun of verse 7, but anyway, it's saying that number of the man is that the one that invented the barcode, which in fact is George Joseph Lowell. You know what I'm saying? And one thing, he invented that universal barcode, product code. And you know what I'm saying? The QVC code is dealing with your buying and selling, with your transaction. So these things have already been in place for a long time. And one thing about it, we seeing that he's getting ready to roll out his agenda, his plan, his plot. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, which in fact is the NWO, total control. That's what he want. But one thing about it, he's imagined a vain thing. He will not be able to perform his enterprise. So now let's go here to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, and let's start up around verse 7. Let's start up at verse 7. And it reads, said, for the mystery of iniquity do already work. Only he who now lets will let until he be taken out the way. So one thing about it, we already knowing that this devil have a very short time, and he is going into the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. He will let until he be taken out the way. So one thing about it, the Lord is in perfect control. And one thing about it, that his time is up. And one thing about it, that we seeing that, hey, man, we're at the end of this thing. Esau is the end of this earth, this temporal world. You know what I'm saying? This wicked kingdom. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So he's getting ready to be taken out the way. And one thing about it, he's getting ready to be chased out of the world. He's getting ready to go into slavery for 1,000 years. And after 1,000 years, he will be totally eradicated. He will be just like he never was. And hey, man, the Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. Verse 8, he said, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, the prophet, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. That's why the Lord said, look to the east, to the brightness of his coming. So the Lord is going to crack those clouds in that great fathership, in the valley of Jehoshaphat. When you go to Joel chapter 3, you know what I'm saying? It'll tell you. And also 2 Ezra chapter 13, the Lord, great and glorious return. So Lord is he's going to come and consume all these nations. And one day he's going to put all these governments down. And out of that, it's only going to be one government under Yahushua HaMashiach. And one thing about it, following King David, also the 12 disciples, the 144, and also the true believers of Yahweh. By Hashem Yahushua, that a government body, the Lord's getting ready to set it up. The Lord's getting ready to set up that righteous order back upon the earth. As it is in heaven, it shall come to the earth. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, man, we cannot wait. The Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. So one thing about it, say, hey, man, all we got to do is, wait on the Lord. The Lord said, wait on me until I rise up against the prey. The Lord's getting ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we are very close. Verse 9, it said, even him whose coming is after the workings of Satan, with all powers and signs and lying wonders. And out about who is the coming after the working of Satan? who is the physical counterpart of Satan. That is what Esau Edom, the modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of. These lying wonders going to what? The Neuralink, you know what I'm saying? You will be able to see again. You'll be able to walk again. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to do anything, but you'll be a superhero. You'll be immortal. You know what I'm saying? All these lying wonders, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people going to trust in that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to feel that this technology is going to be enticing to them. This what AI, this robotics, this transhumanism. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, this is this is very nice, man. This is very harmless, man. You know, it's nothing wrong with this. But one thing about it, the Lord is going to give you a strong delusion. Hey, one thing about it, because hey, you are very rebellious. And you do not trust and you don't have faith. Verse 10, it said, and with all deceivingness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Verse 11, for this cause the Almighty Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasures in unrighteousness. Those are the two-thirds. You know, they had pleasures in unrighteousness. That's why the Lord gave them a strong delusion. The Lord has what? Closed the door on them. You know, they hate the good and love evil each and every day. They quick to do evil. And one thing about it is they don't want to hear the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. But very soon they're going to be crying and weeping. A vexation of spirit, great sorrow, great desperation is getting ready to come. They're going to be howling and weeping. And one thing about it, the Lord said, we shall what? Laugh at their what? Calamity very soon. And one thing about it is payday. The Lord said, I will repay. Vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And one thing about it, so a lot of people, they're going to trust in the strength of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? We will give you $5,000. We will give you $10,000. All you have to do is take this under the skin. And one thing about everything will be fine. They get ready to make you a walking device. And one thing about it, once you take that, you're getting ready to die. And one thing about it, hey, the Lord got everything on checkmate. The Lord is a master chess player. And one thing about it, hey man, it's almost checkmate. It's almost what? Say domino. You know what I'm saying? We got almost at the end of this thing. The Lord is getting ready to show up. The Lord is coming. The Lord is coming. So now, let's go here to Revelation. This is the punishment. If you take this mark, this is what is going to happen to you. Let's go here. We go over these things over and over. But one thing about it, you have been well warned. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 11, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's verse 9. Let's start back up at verse 9. Salakia. And it reads, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark, the charagma that see him in his forehead, that Neuralink are in his hand. Verse 10, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of the Almighty Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture unto the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11 says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they had no rest day nor night, who worship the image of his image, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives them, the mark in his name. You know what I'm saying? And man, one thing about it, that's what's going to happen to you. That's that second death, the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? And America will be the lake of fire. This place will be totally destroyed. There will be no inhabitant left here. That is the what? The indignation of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. That's that fervent heat, and also that laser and chariot fire. The Lord said, hey man, the body count is getting ready to be great. Behold, the Lord is going to come with what? That great whirlwind. You know what I'm saying, man? That what those fathership, man. Hey man, the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. We seeing these things are happening right before our eyes. So we seeing all these different things are happening around the world. We seeing that, hey man, the order out of chaos. We already knowing that all roads lead to what? That Motb, that mark of the beast, that grain of rice, that sea hip. Hey man, it's coming soon. And one thing about it, you'll get ready to make a decision whether you want to or not. Hey, it's getting ready to be a global event. Jacob's trouble. It is at the door. One thing about it, we're sounding like a broken record. But hey, man, these are the times that we're living in. So now, let's go here to Revelation chapter 3. We'll close out here. Revelation chapter 3. Let's see here. One moment. Revelation chapter 3. One moment. Revelations chapter 3 and 10. Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. And it reads, said, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And one thing about it, because you kept the patience, you kept persevering. The same that endure, the same shall be saved. And one thing about it, you kept the faith, you kept pushing, you kept believing. Even in death, the Lord already told you he will give you a crown of life. And one thing about it, we are very close to this time. The Lord's going to keep you from that hour of temptation, a great time of trouble that we have never seen before, And one thing about it, the Lord is going to cut this time short for the elect's sake. We already know what this devil is going to do. He's going to try to destroy everything, including himself. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about it is our time to rule. The Lord's getting ready to cut him off forever. And one thing about it, he's going to keep you from that hour of temptation, because what? You trust and believe in Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. We already know that the Lord is the only way, and he is the only ounce. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Man, the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. Let's get one more before we close out. Let's go here. Let's go here to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 3. We'll start up at verse, I think it's around verse 5, if I'm not mistaken. Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 5. It said, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, your mind, and lean not unto thy own understanding. So a lot of people, which if I got a 2/3, that rebellious, they're going to lean on their own understanding, and they will be totally destroyed. They don't have faith. They don't have works. And also they don't believe. And one thing about it, they are going to seek the Lord early. But one thing about it, they will not find him, because one thing about it, hey, they're unbelievers. And one thing about it, the Lord is already got his people that he's coming back for. He's only coming back for a remnant. You know what I'm saying? They're what? The first fruit, which in fact is the elect, the true believers of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, because what? We trust in the Lord. We fear the Lord. We love the Lord. And the Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. Verse 6 said, in all thy ways acknowledge or confess him, and he shall direct thy path. Verse 7 said, be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. And one thing about it, the 2/3 and also these heathen nations, they don't fear the Lord. But one thing about it, they get ready to know Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. The Lord is getting ready to introduce himself. And one thing about it, every knee shall bow down, every tongue shall confess in that day. They shall know that he is the Lord, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, our true power. And one thing about it, man, we are very close. We seeing that these things are happening right before our eyes, man. Hey, man, we are so very excited, man. We are excited, man. We're constantly striving. We constantly believing. We are growing in the faith each and every day. We're asking the Lord to have mercy upon us. We are praying without ceasing. That also we hasten his great and glorious return. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is Cbdc. Will introduce the Motb, or the mark of the beast. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rekakadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.